From Bradenton, Florida, it's the 2025 Generation Adidas Cup. 8 teams remain in the championship bracket of the U16s as it's the Dutch side, PSV Eindhoven, taking on Columbus Crew here today alongside former MLS striker Kalen Carr, Michael Watrang. So great to have you on board with us here today. Of the 16 remaining teams in the championship bracket, 12 are from the MLS. 46 of the 62 games have ended from the spot, and RSL is looking to become the first team since Philly Union a couple years ago to have both age groups reach the semifinals. And here's how we got to this point. PSV Eindhoven is unbeaten in this tournament. They have 4 wins in 4 tries, 3-1 winners against LAFC, while the Crew took out San Jose Earthquakes 3-0. As we take a look at the starting 11 for PSV Eindhoven, this is a very impressive and talented group, Kalen.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be 4 in the back to begin with, and Ton Benz, the Netherlands youth international, will be anchoring that line. Ezekiel Amaga, one of the most talented players you'll see in Generation Adidas Cup throughout the week, throughout this tournament, will be in the midfield, and Obama Apia, the tournament's leading scorer, up top.
He scored in every game. He has 5 goals so far in the tournament. Conversely, for Columbus Crew, this is how they line up for this matchup. What do you see out of this group?
Yeah, it'd be a 3-4-3 formation with Donato in that back line, bringing that leadership. He's playing a year up, but looks so poised and composed for his time here. And then 4-4, the second leading scorer of the tournament, 4 goals from that left wing back position. So that's how dynamic this formation is. And Denjaji, Ewing, and Marinch, a devastating front 3 up top.
4-4, a brace in the round of 16 win against San Jose Earthquakes. And we're ready to roll in this quarterfinal bout. A spot in the semifinals on Saturday on the line here in the U16 bracket. It is Columbus in the yellow and black kits, PSV Eindhoven in the red and black kits. And we're ready to go on a sunny Thursday afternoon here in Florida. The whistle blows, and we ignite this quarterfinal matchup in the U16s with Columbus on the ball. Hope you can come in and stay with us. We'll have 4 matchups here today on MLS's YouTube channel. 2 in the U16 bracket and 2 in the U18 bracket. Well, this is an excellent PSV Eindhoven group that have won every single match. Columbus, though, is as crisp as it comes from the academy to the first team.
Yeah, absolutely. This has all the makings of one of the best matches of the tournament, and we've been lucky. We've got it in the quarterfinal round, and I think 2 teams that really like to keep possession, play through the midfield, really dynamic movement, and both with some devastating finishers. Obama Apia, tournament leading scorer, and just behind him for Columbus, Prince 4-4 with 4 goals coming from that wing back position. But we've seen how important set pieces are, especially early on in matches. Got an early kickoff here, just 10 a.m., so have to be alert in these situations. Good opportunity here for Columbus.
Yuri Rushak has the honors of the opening free kick, less than 90 seconds in. Rushak hooks this ball inside of the 18. It skims off of one head, rolls to the right side. Crew not done yet. Looking for space. Justice finds himself open. Justice unfurls one. It gets blocked. And now Eindhoven can run in the other direction, at least for a moment. Columbus swarming. We spoke with Jesper Walkens, the head coach of PSV Eindhoven. His 10th year overall in the program, was an academy player for a time, and now in his 4th year as a coach for this group. And he said that this is a Columbus team that they can really change their shape and present challenges for this team.
Yeah, we've seen that all the way from the academy today, of course, through the first team. Similar formation, 3 in the back, interchanging positions, though, and a number of different options for Columbus we'll see.
Schackenrad slows it down as Eindhoven gets their chance on the overlap. First time touch in, gets knocked away, and Crew clear out to midfield. Donjaji sprints her out. He scored in the quarterfinal matchup. He takes a tumble, but it's pretty good pressure there from Bobson.
Yeah, it's a good turn. It's just a long, hopeful ball forward, cleared from Denoto, and it's a good fight there from Dinjaji to twist and turn and try to push forward to advance his position. In Columbus now able to keep possession here off this throw-in, but so important for striker play to be able to give your team a chance to move up the pitch in this battle for real estate early in this match.
Here's a takeaway. Trying to juggle this ball is Arizmendi. Comes out top, and it's taken away, and here comes Eindhoven now. PSV Eindhoven here after 1-0 win against DC United, 3-1 against Barca Residency Academy, and 2-1 against Sporting Kansas City in the group stage. And then they beat LAFC 3-1 in the quarterfinal. Schockenrad loses possession, but it's taken right back. Ben's had it for a moment. Dinjaji picks up the foul.
Jack, get the shape right with Keller.
This is just PSV looking to push higher to build out, but it's a really good step here from Arizmendi just to push forward and win that ball forward. Didn't quite turn into a great opportunity there, but you can see how Columbus are set to pressure, especially in those central areas.
PSV Eindhoven have allowed the first goal in 3 consecutive matches. They have come back to win 2 of those 3 by multiple goals. Amaga. He dances and then lays it off. Schockenrad. Cross comes inside of the 18. First clearance. A long retreating run here from Tayavos.
Keep it. Finish the run.
That ball gets bobbled. Eindhoven had it for a moment. Ping pongs around. Dinjaji. And now it goes all the way back towards the keeper. Columbus 3-0 winners against LAFC in the first match of the group stage, and then they needed penalties in their next 2, falling to Orlando City in game 2 in pens, and then beating Ulsan 5-3 in penalties after a 2-2 draw, and they beat San Jose 3-0 in the round of 16. This ball comes out towards the top. A collision, a tumble, no foul, and a clearance.
Yeah, both teams in these first 6 minutes still trying to feel each other out a little bit. It's the first time we were able to see Stam get down this left-hand side. See, with the way Columbus are set up, especially with 3 in the back, this is going to be the area that PSV are going to continue to search for. Stam just looking for this cutback. Schockenrad, the far right side winger, coming across as he should, and doesn't quite come off in the end, but that's the area they're going to look to exploit from PSV to get in behind and stretch those 3 center backs out.
This clearance attempt doesn't get any further as Colas continues the pressure. Throw in here for Eindhoven.
Help us out. Link good. Hey, long draw. Hey, watch it. Link good. Apollo. Step to the light. Link good.
PSV going to bring over their captain, Ton Benz, Netherlands Youth International. It's going to be a long throw here, targeting Imaga, looking for the second ball.
Benz tosses this inside of the 18. It bounces around the 6, a couple nods away. And it's Keller Abbott coming over to catch.
Yeah, we're seeing Benz in a little bit of a different formation, or position, excuse me, than where we've seen him so far in the tournament. Generally lined up right in the middle, in the heart of that back line, but Bobson comes in, a physical presence.
This is a giveaway and a chance. Abbott is unable to stop. Hunter finishes. PSV Eindhoven take the early edge in the quarterfinal.
Columbus are always going to play out of the back, and that can create some problems, some triggers to be able to push forward. This ball comes in, but it's a little bit of a miscommunication as to who it's intended for, and credit to Hunta for being opportunistic, being in the right position. That first ball stepped in one from Amaga and then drops right to Hunta. He stays composed there for the finish to give PSV the early lead here.
Okay, let's go. We're good. Keep going.
Hunta scores for the second consecutive game. Also had the opener in the round of 16 win against LAFC. That tied the score in that match. In today's, it opens the scoring and puts PSV Eindhoven out in front, and they snap a spell of 3 straight games conceding first.
Step up. Step. Apollo.
It's a good step there from Ezekiel Amaga. One of the more talented players you'll see in this tournament. Generally plays as a center back up an age group for PSV, but has come in this tournament and pushed into the midfield. We spoke to the manager, Watkins, before that to say we want him higher up the pitch, and what a difference he made there.
Kalas crosses. Columbus again has to get the ball away. Flag up on the opposite side. Offside here.
Really enjoyed our conversation with Jasper Watkins before the match from PSV, and especially asking him about Amaga. To me, he just jumped off the page from the first match I saw, and he's got the size, of course, but it's not just that. He's brought in the technical ability, the calmness on the ball, just sort of glides through that midfield, breaking lines, and from a development standpoint, they want to ask more of him from a leadership perspective and to get on the ball more. You can see here it just has that size, but the ability to pick passes, be a part of that pressure, and then as he gets older, pushes back a line maybe, but I always like moving backwards for players in youth development than moving forward. So much more difficult to do, and the fact that they're playing a bit out of position on purpose speaks to the way that these teams are using this tournament as a development point.
Yeah, Jasper Watkins said that Amaga typically plays up an age, but here's a great run. Donjaji is denied. Moot smothers it.
And Columbus starting to figure out their press. We saw the earlier moment where they're able to win one, but getting set and then immediately looking to try to find Donjaji. Right idea, trying to pick out that far post with the curler, but well done for Moot to stay behind it.
A takeaway, but a foul whistled after the surge from Rushak.
See Columbus here just winning this ball. It's a lovely cut there from Donjaji. You see just how easily just twists it in between, and then he's just looking to pass that into the far corner. Excellent mobility there at pace to cut across the defender and then find that opportunity searching for that back post.
GA Cup U16 championship bracket has the Netherlands side, PSV Eindhoven, leading 1-0. Hunta's second goal of the tournament in the 8th minute is the difference. Michael Watrang, Kalen Carr, and our team with you to start the day. The first of our quadruple header in the quarterfinal round of the championship brackets. Schockenrad lays it forward. Slide tackled out by Zach Lloyd. Again, the flag up, however.
Yeah, but you can see the pattern of play from PSV to have Schockenrad, the right winger, tucking in, and then Ton Benz, the right back now today, streaking around that corner. The timing just a little bit off, but good interplay of positions between those two on the right side.
He has time and space. Keller, you're the free player. Yeah, second ball.
Abbott laces this ball forward. Donjaji gets a piece. He's again the fastest man to it. Donjaji cuts this ball forward. Moots steps in front of Morinch. Took a heavy fall, so he's down around the touchline, and the official blows the play for the moment.
Yeah, but it's good play there from Donjaji, just to scrap for one that doesn't really belong to him, but being alert as a 9 so important. Defensive pressure is able to keep possession, keep it, tuck in, and then tries to slip in Maranch in behind and left himself a little bit exposed there, hoping for some contact, and a good run from him in behind. Donjaji goes out wide, has to fill the run.
We spoke with Jasper Watkins before this matchup, and he said this is a great test for his group by being in this tournament, because they don't see a lot of teams like this in the Netherlands. Certainly from a physicality standpoint, they don't see a lot of that. This is a giveaway. Marinch lays it, gets it back, taps it through. Excellent passing here, but unable to get a shot away. Eindhoven swarms and knocks that one away to get a throw.
Yeah, but going back to your last point, I think that's the intrigue for this tournament, is to get exposed to different styles of play, different player profiles, different philosophies. And so for Columbus, they also don't see teams like PSV with this type of quality, with this player profiles. Tactics actually pretty similar as far as their game models and style of play. Interchanging positions, very dynamic. Prince 4-4 here, left back, but we'll see him all over the pitch. Similar to the way we see Columbus use their wing backs, Max Arfston, number of guys pushing forward into attacking positions. So I think that's the part for me that's really impressive. Is for me, I had to wait till I got to MLS, played in CONCACAF Champions Cup, and suddenly you can feel a little naive where you go and travel internationally and you say, well, this team plays different than I expected. I wasn't quite used to seeing this team play. And all across this tournament, we've seen from Brazilian teams, the Premier League, Eredivisie, and then across MLS, a lot of different styles within our league. So I think that sort of intrigue for me is one of the more enticing parts about this tournament from a development standpoint.
Have a bloody nose for Eindhoven to slow things down as you take a look at our schedule for the day. Charlotte, Real Salt Lake's coming up at noon, and then 2:30 Chicago and Colorado Rapids, 4:30 Orlando City and Real Salt Lake. So 3 more matches to come, and after today we'll be down to the last 4 teams. An off day tomorrow, and then the hardware is in sight starting on Saturday with the semifinal. Play is restarted. Amanga back on the field.
Apollo, find your pocket. Apollo, between the lines. Find your reference point. Jack narrow. Jack narrow. There you go.
Bonos leads it forward. Justice. Bonos chases against Amanga, and he handles that. That is superb work. Comes out. A near swing instead. Rushak had to wait for it. 4-4 now dashes. 4-4 on Corks. Gets it back. Ewing. 3 defenders nearby. Elects to lay it back.
Good patience from Columbus here to recycle.
Arizmendi missiles a ball into the chest of Moots.
Yeah, but it's one of the first times we've seen 4-4 being able to streak forward. Goes through Ewing, elects to circle it back out, and the best way sometimes to draw a team out when they're sitting a bit deeper is to strike from distance, and good technique to put that on frame there.
One of the best parts about these matches being 60 minutes is these players know that they can use all of their energy, and we've seen it so many times throughout this tournament. There are bursts for each side. Eindhoven had the run of play for about the first 10 minutes, and the last several in charge of Columbus crew.
Jack, inside of it. Jack, inside. Jack, inside. Second pivot.
4-4. There's a foul.
Go. You have the same vertical line as Gianmarco, so he can break inside. Yeah, exactly. Jack, that's perfect. Yeah, play.
Columbus crew successful at every pass. The 3-time MLS champs. They've won a U.S. Open Cup and a Leagues Cup championship. MLS Next Pro team won the first ever MLS Next Pro Cup in 2022. And now the Academy trying to take care of business, but they trail by a goal. here in this quarterfinal round.
Jamil, complementary movement. Hey, when E-man checks, we need the runner behind. Jack, now flat out. Pull him away. Open or close ball. Yeah.
Direct pass over the top. Justice watches it bounce. Justice is able to gain an edge. Justice crosses. It comes back out. Shot ricochets off of a foot and goes out. Bonos gets his team a corner.
It's good work there from Justice, who initially had to adjust his run based on the flight of the ball here. And it's a good ball from Donato, searching in behind, trying to stretch out PSV. And then it's just a little bit of extra work here to just skirt around side Stom and tries to lay it off. Ends up dropping just underneath there to Bonos, who's pushed up from that right center back position. Earn a corner here.
Yuri Rushak bends it in. The header is only to the side of the red kits. And Janji bicycled away by Bobson. 4-4. Justice. Go back and forth as Columbus try to reset.
Yeah, but it's all pretty narrow for Columbus right now. They're looking for options, and PSV have done a good job of collapsing numbers, tucked in both wingers, Shakenrod and Apia, into those interior spaces to starve space from Columbus to play through.
Justice knocks it over. Here's Apia. Eindhoven break. The tournament's leading goal scorer, Apia, finds space. His shot denied, however, by the back line.
Yeah, really good defending there, understanding that Apia wants to tuck in as an inverted winger into that right foot. Only needs an inch, and just was searching for that slight hesitation with the stutter step to create it. Good defending there from Columbus.
Just past the 20-minute mark in this quarterfinal matchup of the U16 championship bracket. PSV Eindhoven lead 1-0 after a giveaway in the 8th minute. Amaga to Hunta, who scored for the second consecutive game, and a 1-0 advantage with a spot in the semifinal on the line. Michael Watrain, Kalen Carr, and our team with you here to start the day in Bradenton, Florida at the 2025 Generation Adidas Cup. Good to have you with us.
Let's go. Come on, yellow. Come on.
Only about 10 more minutes to go here in this first half. Crew have more shots in this game. They put a couple on target as well. Moot have been there with a response twice so far. And Janji uses his body, splits defenders, draws the foul. There wasn't a lot there for him, but against two defenders, he gets his team a free kick.
I mean, you can see why he's so often used with the U.S. youth national team setups. Just that ability to create something on his own, doing the dirty work. Not the biggest player, but really uses his body well. Just see the way he wedges himself in between, and then in these little spaces, he just needs an inch to push forward. He's aggressive, it's positive play, and well-deserved there, earning foul.
Yuri Rushak, hands in the air, spins this ball across the 18. Here's a shot attempt. Moot denies. That was a quick shot, and Moot makes his third save.
We talked about just how important set pieces can be in tournament play. I don't care what level you're at, from one of the top youth tournaments in the country all the way to the World Cup, and it's a good opportunity where it drops to Donato. It reacts to it so quickly there. Push forward, an excellent save there from Moot.
Occupy the middle of that square, Apollo.
Justice the target of that pass, but it evades it. Throw in for PSV Eindhoven as you see a look at Another good Columbus opportunity.
Yeah, it's just whipped in, but second ball has become so important. You can see just how alert Denoto is just on that back post and drops right to him. Makes great contact. Well positioned to keep it out of the back of the net.
Hunter draws the foul.
And there's been a lot of that so far in the first half. I think both teams haven't been able to settle into the possession standard that they've set so far for themselves throughout this tournament, but it's a part of it. Once you get to the knockouts, it's not quite as pretty. It's not as free-flowing as you always would like, and it's part of the adaptations that these teams need to make as you go deeper into the tournament.
The winner of this matchup gets the winner of LA Galaxy and Montreal. Simultaneous start time sees those two teams at a stalemate now, 0-0.
That's great work there from Apia, where hasn't got on the ball a lot, but you can just see the technique to be able to play out of pressure there.
Hunter circles. Hunter crosses it in. Colas blasts it home. It's a second for Eindhoven before halftime.
This is just so good from PSV. Apia plays out of pressure, and then you switch from one side to the next. And that run in behind there from Hunter releases in space, and then crashing in from the back post is Calais. It's really good when the striker moves out into the wide areas. You need runners from deep positions to come in, and the number 10, Calais, comes in. An easy finish, but it's well worked from side to side from PSV. Coming across at the last minute for the easy tap-in.
Hunter now a goal and an assist in this game, as Jonas Colas scores for the first time in this tournament. And Columbus face their largest deficit so far of the tournament.
Yeah, but it shows the quality of PSV, just the ability to continue to play out of pressure, to keep their calm, their poise. Every touch so clean. Switching it from side to side as well has been impressive, because once they're able to break that pressure, they go quickly with that ball right in behind to Hunter. Squares it across for the easy tap-in finish.
Hunter chases another, and Abbott, straddling the top of the 18-yard box, gathers.
Jack, we gotta solve this 2v1. Gianmarco, solve the 2v1. Open or close ball.
Well, can the crew get anything back here before the end of the first half, trailing by a pair? Long ball up and over the top, 4-4 chases. Moot is there. Here's Justice. That ball rode up a little bit on him. Held on to it for a second, and now Eindhoven look to break. Moosters. Apia. Apia asking for a foul, does not get it.
That's a good track there from Ruszczak. They'd lost the ball from Justice, and a spot they'd like to keep it there, but have to back press. Not want to allow Apia, tournament's top scorer, any time and space there. Excellent recovery there from Ruszczak.
Hunter. Hunter now chases after this. He has the angle. Hunter is in. Hunter blasts this ball. Abbott denies the first, and it's parried away in the end by Bonos.
Hey, yellow
seen this a few times now on the first goal, especially with Columbus trying to play out of pressure. And immediately when it turns over, it's that little ball in behind. It's so cleverly slipped in there for Hunter. The ball bobbles up a little bit on him just before he strikes here. You can see right there, it makes it a much more difficult finish. It's an excellent save there from Abbott to get the left hand to it. Keep it out of the back of the net, but looked like both players seemed to collide.
Guys, let's go. Come on, jog in and then you
As they came in.
Let's go.
It's just a little bit of that bobble that threw the play off a little bit, but excellent ball from PSV to win it. And just to curl that one into the path of Hunter. Excellent save there from Abbott to stay behind it.
So with the injuries on the field, a break for these two sides and a chance to take a look at the U18 championship bracket. Good one between Atlanta United and Inter Milan. Ends up going to penalties as Atlanta United advances. Also penalties for Portland and LA Galaxy. And the Timbers advance. Tight games on that right side of the bracket. Chicago and Colorado Rapids coming up at 2:30. And then on the left, Sockers and Santos Laguna play spoilers against the MLS side. Orlando City advances past St. Louis City 1-0. And more penalties. Real Salt Lake takes out Toronto in pens 3-1. The last goal for PSV Eindhoven. Just take a look at this pass from Hunter and the finish in the end by Colas.
Yeah, Colas comes across right at the last second, and it's just so important. Once your striker, your 9, moves out wide, that other players come across. And Colas, we've seen play a few different positions, was set to actually begin this match on that right flank at a last-minute injury, so had to move more into the 10 position where we saw him earlier in the tournament. But just to hide in that blind spot shows the awareness to come across at the last second. Once Columbus center backs turn their heads, it's too late. You're in front for the easy tap in. Going back to that save from Abbott, it's so important. It's a massive save specifically based on the timing just before half. You go down 3, and that's a tall task going into halftime. So at least there keeps them in this. It's a good run in behind, but Columbus just have to be a little bit cleaner playing out of the back. Of course, that's a part of their game model. They're going to stick to it, but just have to get that first pass forward, break that line, because it's been a little bit off for them as far as that initial phase of the build-out, and PSV have been able to take advantage.
3 minutes of stoppage time here in the first half. Columbus have had chances. They've racked up 4 shots so far, 3 of which have been on target. Moat has saved all 3 of those opportunities, but here's a giveaway. Apia unable to shake one defender.
Pass forward. Good. Pass forward.
Bonos. An acceleration from Ewing. 4-4. The team's leading scorer in this tournament. 4-4. Gains an angle. 4-4. Hooks this ball over the top as it goes out for a goal kick.
Yeah, but that's much better from Columbus. They want to find Ewing in that half space. Playing with 2 10s, with Marinch on one side and Ewing. Just haven't quite been able to find them underneath Zanjaji. Then you bring in 4-4 on that left flank. Just looked like he maybe could have cut that one back once he was able to get the depth. Usually that cut back is on, and it's much better there to find those 10s and get Ewing involved in this match.
Apia takes over, accelerates. Apia handles it through the middle of the field, halfway through stoppage time. Imaga, the youngest player on this Eindhoven group, hooks this ball around, ends up with Stomp. He bends it back in. Cleared out, but only as far as the midfield for Eindhoven. Colas.
Yeah, good to stay patient here from PSV. No need to push it. Try to stretch out Columbus side to side. We saw Imaga on one end. It's an uncharacteristic giveaway here, but moving the way that this game is set up for them, have to stay patient.
contact forward.
4-4, the only man on that side of the field is Moosters. Tosses it right to him. Maybe time for one more chance for the crew to try to bend one back. On the overlap, inside of the box. Is it a penalty? Appeals for it, and they do blow the whistle. And the crew get a lifeline before the break.
It all starts with this ball into Ewing in that little half space. That opens this whole play up. It allows them to spring down the flank, and then it's one-on-one. To me, that looks like a pretty good tackle there from Tom Benz, isolated on the flank, but either way, full credit to Zach Lloyd for pushing forward, showing his pace. And that first ball in from 4-4 into Ewing opens the whole play up, but a massive opportunity for Columbus to get one back before the half.
Apollo Marinch tries to make this a one-goal game right before halftime. Marinch missiles over the top of the bar, keeping it at 2-0.
You can immediately see the response from Columbus staff to say, hey, we keep going, we keep pushing, and it's unfortunate here. He just gets underneath it, and see from the reaction, he knows it. Columbus will keep pushing. It's one of the better moments as far as getting down that left-hand side, but missed opportunity for some momentum and pathway back just before halftime. Have to regroup going to halftime and come out, continue with that same energy they ended with.
So Columbus has a chance before halftime to make it 2-1. Unsuccessful. And it's PSV Eindhoven leading 2-0 at the break in the championship bracket. U16 quarterfinals. Step out for a break. Highlights from yesterday's action come your way when we return. The U16 championship bracket knockout stage begins with LA Galaxy taking out Nashville 3-0. Michael Watrank, Kalen Carr, and our team wrapping up the action here on this Wednesday morning. And Nashville's best chance early in this game came off of a bobble from Will Walker.
Yeah, it's so important, though, to set the tone early, and set pieces provide such an important piece of tournament play. Nashville tried to take advantage, but this was much more of a preview of what was to come for the Galaxy, with Steelman trying to square that across to Medina. Doesn't quite get the right contact. Arias was strong in goal, but once again we see Steelman on this right-hand flank and plays it across the middle, but this is good patience to recirculate this, a little back heel, and then it comes back to Steelman, who'd been going one-on-one all day, but this time plays the early ball across. It's really clever here to find this wide area and to vary it up, to not go one-on-one, to play it early. It's curled in perfectly, and Medina with a diving header gives the Galaxy the 1-0 lead in this match. And from there, you can see the set pieces were a big part of this for the Galaxy. And how about this strike here? Just absolutely crushes this one from Eddie Chadwick. Comes back to him. Thought maybe he was going to have a go at the far post. Instead, just kisses it off the inside of the post. It then goes inside, clearly crosses the line. It's the right decision from the referee here to spot this crossing that line. Excellent strike from Chadwick. And then when Nashville had to push numbers forward, it was only going to go one direction. And Mondragon had 2 goals in the tournament. Shows the depth, shows the class, the patience to come across and take that extra touch. Brought down from Arias, and then steps up himself and says, hey, I'd like my 3rd of the tournament and the 3rd of the day for the Galaxy. Sip of the tea there from Eddie Chadwick, the U.S. and England Youth International, having a bit of fun with it, and the Galaxy 3-0 win, important here in the knockouts.
And on to the quarterfinals in the GA Cup. One of the thrillers of the day in the championship bracket of the U16s. A round of 16 matchup sees KRC Genk from Belgium outlast Portland Timbers 2-1. Alongside Kalen Carmichael Watring as we go through this one. And right at the very beginning, we saw this group, Tharatzos Walker, be quite the impactful player.
Yeah, this one was a roller coaster. I thought Portland built their way into the match, and you could see Tharatzos Walker just pushing his way into it. And started to come alive. You can see him just sneaking into that near post, and it's a difficult header from a really hard angle to come to the near post, but to duck his head down like that, to be able to redirect that to the near post. Fantastic from the number 9 for Portland.
And then in the second half, 1-0 the lead for the Timbers, but this finish from Mohamed Akif Avci just rolls it past Deutsch, but it all starts in the back.
Yeah, the pass from Ilunga is to spring him in, and it's a wonderful run here. He has to take a difficult angle because he's being pressed by August Nystrom, but he just passes it so delicately to that back post. This was a big moment here. Achavar was able to go one-on-one, earn the penalty, and Ilunga steps up, but oh no, it's Deutsch again. He stopped 2 penalties in the shootout against Bayern Munich to help them get to this stage, and reads this one perfectly to keep Portland in this.
And that kept it tied at 1 in the 45th minute. But no more than 2 minutes later, Saidi found Bukers on the back post for the go-ahead.
Yeah, and set piece is so important. We saw Portland take advantage of the first half, and a bit of the taste of their own medicine here with Bukers heading that back to the where it came from. You could see the momentum had now swung all towards Genk, continuing to push forward. Had a breakaway here from Ilunga, but another big save from Deutsch, who just did everything you possibly could ask, and you were just hoping for one more chance from Portland. And here it came to the man you wanted to fall to. He does everything right here. Tharatzos Walker, but oh my goodness, how about that intervention from Magogo to save it off his own post, and Portland didn't give up. You have to give him credit for that. Again, a scramble in the box. They continue with it. The substitute, Sanchez, stands this up to the far post to Cias, but wasn't able to get on top of it. You can see what it means to Genk, but end-to-end stuff there. Can still barely take a breath. What a performance from Genk. Portland left everything they had out there. What a match.
Genk on to the quarterfinals against Austin.
Another beautiful scene along the Sarasota coast and a little bit north in Bradenton. High drama and high stakes as the round of 16 came down to the shootout, but it's Atlanta United moving on after taking down Inter Milan 4-2 in the PKs. AJ Ricketts, Katie Goodman, after a competitive first half, probably controlled more by Milan. Atlanta United had their opportunities. Cooper Sanchez couldn't find the net. Nobody did in the first 60 minutes.
Right, lots more intensity in the second half thanks to Inter Milan running a high press. You thought for a long time that they were going to put it away, but Jonathan Ransom had other plans, denying that opportunity there.
Milan nearly stole this at the death on this corner kick.
Yep, everyone was holding their breath in that moment, thinking that was going to be the game-winning goal, and from that point on, they move on to PKs.
Jonathan Ransom was ready for his moment, said he did homework on these situations, had his sheet, had his chart, he guessed right on a number of occasions. Bees on the other side also had a key block that threatened to turn momentum, but Ransom stood tall time after time. Emotion ever present in a shootout situation. And putting it away was Caden Moore. That's the game winner. The U18s celebrating with the U16s. Atlanta moving on. Everybody enjoying the party.
is. You and me, we go good together. You and I go good together. You and I, we go good together. We go good together.
You ready? MLS is game on. Dochi? On. Stars on.
Kevin Sullivan, the history maker.
30,000 friends? On. Rivalries on.
Versus New York City.
MLS, this is our soccer. Game on.
Let's take a look at the halftime highlights from this matchup, as it was PSV Eindhoven getting an early start off of a giveaway.
Yeah, Nimaka does well to read it, jumps the lane, and then it drops directly to Hunter, who turns quickly, is able to pick that pressure from PSV high, pays off early, gives them the lead here.
It was 1-0 after the 8th minute for PSV Eindhoven, after they had given up the first goal in the last 3 matches, but this time it was just a showcase of this team's ability to build.
Yeah, but it's once again Nimaka with the ball to release. The same player, Hunter, in behind, and from there he squares it across for the easy tap-in, a deep run from Kalas. Excellent timing to come across for the easy tap-in, and this was Columbus's pathway back in. The last 5 minutes of the half got tilted in their direction. A really good play from them to be able to break through Ewing in behind to Lloyd, and unfortunately Marinch misses the penalty just before halftime, but have to come out with that same intensity to begin the second half.
Marinch also missed a penalty in the second game of the group stage against Orlando City, and so that's where we sit here at halftime. 30 more minutes to go for a spot in the semifinals. PSV Eindhoven lead 2-0 at the break, and Columbus Crew looking to storm back into this game. And Kalen, if you're Columbus, how do you get back? What's the pathway?
Well, I think we were just here at halftime, so I was able to tune in a little bit, but it was felt positive. A few tactical adjustments to try to get the rotations right in possession in that first phase of the build out, and then more than anything, I think they really ended the half with a positive momentum. And yes, it didn't pay off as far as that finish. You have to just put that behind you, though, if you're Marinch. Just move on, stay positive. That's the way this Columbus group, the identity of this team is, and have the quality, no doubt about it. Just have to continue, try to solve a few setup differences as far as how they want to defend. And then that build-out phase for me has not been clean enough. I think they'll look to correct that in the second half and find their way back in this.
Second half starts with PSV Eindhoven on the ball. The only team in the U16s with wins at every stop so far. The only U18 group that went undefeated in the group stage was LA Galaxy. This has been an excellent PSV Eindhoven group. We have witnessed it yet again here today. Multiple goals for the 4th consecutive match. Michael Watran, Kalen Carr, and our team with you here in Bradenton, Florida for the 2025 Generation Adidas Cup. Great to have you on board. Hope you can hang out with us the rest of the day. This is the first of 4 matches today. 2 in the U16s, 2 in the U18s.
Front foot. Okay, let's go. Let's try to get that ball. Hey, well done, Joe Marco. Let's try to get that ball down and play our game.
Columbus Crew looking to get back into this one. And you have to wonder the mindset of this team after they had that opportunity to make it 2-1 in the missed penalty just before halftime.
Go on. Let's play forward. Doesn't need to go backwards.
That ball skims over the top of the head of Amaga. They never touched him, though. So it's a throw for PSV. Eindhoven familiar to U.S. fans. Lee Tillman, Ricardo Pepi, and Dest all play theirs. This ball is given away. Justice falls on it. A near catastrophic moment, but that's how PSV scored its opening goal off of a giveaway in the back.
Yeah, it's good pressure there from Columbus, and a big opportunity. Emmanuel Ewing winning that ball in a really good spot there, and it just seemed to maybe get stuck a little bit underneath him, but really good pressure from Columbus to begin this half.
Columbus had more shots in the opening half. 5-3 leaders in that category. They had a corner as well. Abbott plays this ball. Lloyd, who won the penalty. That ball goes out, however.
If you have an open ball, let's try to also look for the space behind. Yeah, protect the space. Good, that's fine, let's go. Behind the ball, we can connect. E-man, well done. Let's go, Jamil, well done. Come on, let's keep going. Come on, Yellow. Come on. E-man, good ball.
Velas chases, lays it off. Mendy goes down after the fact. Might have caught some incidental contact.
Yeah, it's good pressure here from Columbus, and Mendy covering a ton of ground, moving side to side, and it's just a little bit of a duel here. It comes across. You can just see that tailing arm coming and hitting him in the face. So always with head injuries, of course, you're gonna immediately spot that from the referee. He does, calls out the training staff and health and safety protocols, the most important in these positions, to make sure he's in good shape to continue in this match. It's been a positive start, though, for Columbus. I think the energy has been there to begin. That one opportunity with Ewing pushing higher, winning the ball, and caught a little bit underneath him, tries to square it across, but the manager, Shahad Farahani, has been really positive messages from halftime through these opening minutes, and I think that's a part of it. You mentioned the mentality. It's difficult for young players. You go down, you have all these expectations, the pressure, the media, the scouts, the U.S. national team staff is watching. A number of these players have featured for them, and playing against PSV, big competition. Seen the likes of Amaga, what he's been able to do in this match so far, and I think that's a part of the development here is, hey, you're down 2 goals at halftime. How do you approach this? You've missed a penalty. Disappointment. Set it aside. Move forward. I think the way they've approached the beginning of these few moments of the second half here have showed that they've got the right approach at least, and continue to do that. Maybe there's a path back, but it's difficult as well because PSV so far have shown their quality, and when they've made mistakes, they punished them.
So ball goes back into play. Falling through the sky. Amaga knocks it back. Abbott picks it up. I think you hit on an interesting point there, because one of the underrated parts of this tournament is that mental side and the pressure that gets put on some of these young players. I mean, there's some 14-year-olds on the field, and you're not used to having content teams, a broadcast, the scouts from not just the national team, but also college coaches and other teams as well watching these matches.
Yeah, I think you just have to look at that as an opportunity to begin to recognize that pressure as a privilege and something you want to be a part of. And I think so far both teams have gone about it the right way.
This is working well. Ewing lays it through the middle, and he gets cleared out. Donoto slows it down.
Good, yeah. Let's play. Zach Lloyd a little bit wider off the
back on the pitch is Arizmendi over the top. Justice tries to get to it. Justice, however, just offside. But again, positive builds here for the crew.
Yeah, it's a really good ball in there from Donato. You mentioned players playing up. He's an 09. He's already made his next pro debut beginning of this year, and just see the way they built through him. Columbus always used their center backs to be able to distribute, and it's a really lovely ball in behind to Lincoln Justice. Just the timing a little bit off in the end, but that's the right ball. You want to bring some players for short options, but always Columbus, if you can, looking in behind.
Front foot. Front foot.
Yamaga.
Bravo, Watt.
Foul.
Bravo, Juanito. Let's play, Jack. Come on, Jack.
I mentioned the next pro debut of Donato. It's been a real positive for Columbus, really one of the standard bearers as far as bringing players through that pro development pathway system, and seen it all the way through the academy. Led by Dan Locke, I think their academy director, had been at Seattle and Charlotte. He's come in and really done a fantastic job, and you just look at the way that Tristan Brown, Chase Adams, a number of players have come through and had big tournaments at GA Cup. Pushing forward, you expect them to continue on that pathway, and then all the way to the first team with the next pro group. Came through Jason Russell Rowe, Schulte, players that are not just playing for the first team and having massive impacts, but also playing internationally.
You mentioned Donato, 251 minutes already this season as he debuted against Orlando City B on March 9th. And for Columbus, the pathway is clear. Start at Next Pro, play in Generation Adidas Cup, and the first team will be waiting for your services.
Well, it's wild to think about, too, when you lose a player the likes of Cucho Hernandez, that somebody coming through your next pro team can actually fill those shoes to begin with, and Jason Russell Rowe has done a really good job of that so far to begin with. They've added Gazdag, a number of players, and love when you see the similarity in the style of play, the way that this academy team plays, very similar to the first team. You see that clear identity.
And that is the purpose of MLS Next Pro in the end, is tying all the knots between the academy all the way up to the first team. And Columbus is one of the teams that is really showcasing how it's supposed to be done through the academy to Next Pro and then to the first team.
Oh, and by the way, PSV not so bad at youth development themselves, with players they've produced, and even some of the Americans that are playing there, with Ricardo Pepe, and had a tremendous season before his injury. I think back to DeMarcus Beasley, his success with PSV in the Champions League. Win also came through that system, so a number of American heritage for the Dutch team.
First booking of the day goes to Ezekiel Imaga. And it comes just before we hit the 40-minute mark. It is 2-0 PSV out in front of Columbus Crew here in this quarterfinal matchup. The winner gets the winner of LA Galaxy and Montreal. Hunter scored in the 8th minute, and then he dished it off for Colas in the 25th minute. Crew missed a penalty kick right before halftime. Hunter unable to control. Ewing has the same fate. And then Colas. Colas picks the right-hand side as he gets an angle. Colas curls it through. Hunter would have been the target, as it would have been a return of the early chance.
And Colas's interchange positions in this second half with Schockenrod, and you can just see the ability to just dribble and drive and looking for that cutback, and Columbus always looking to play out of pressure. Ended up giving that one away in the end, but good run from Colas to break through on that right-hand side again.
This ball bounces off of a defender. Schockenrod has to wait for it.
Good from PSV here, just playing through pressure.
Amaga just taps it forward. Benz hooks it in. Imaga has it. Imaga off the outside of the boot.
You can see Tom Benz, their normal center back now, right back today, playing more in that central position, and Imaga getting numerical advantages. Once again, you'll see him streaking down this right-hand side, providing an option, and just really dynamic movement here from PSV to keep possession. It's a good ball in. Good step there from Tom Benz, and that just releases Imaga, turns on it well. It's just searching, sort of toe poke that one towards the back post there, but able to push numbers forward. Good effect so far in the second half.
Columbus make a change. Nacion Delgado replaces Emmanuel Ewing. First change for either side in this one comes with less than 20 minutes to go.
We have time. Don't rush it. Just focus on the small things, the quality of the passes, the quality of the touches.
Donodo.
How do we find the weak side?
Hector, next one.
Zach Lloyd, narrow. Good. Early. Good.
Donodo.
Joy. Play him, Joy.
Lloyd.
Joy. Joy.
Here's 4-4. Lays it back. Lloyd chases after it against Imaga. And then given away. PSV makes its first change. Liam DeVries replaces Schockenrod. Just about a quarter hour to go in this one. Banjanji has been quiet, but he draws the foul here. Donodo. This hits that ball. Does get kept in play, but it goes to PSV. Moot under pressure from Delgado, flies it away. Delgado scored in the final match of the group stage.
Take your time. Details of the passes, quality of the first touch.
The ball rolls out.
And sometimes you have to create your own offense and playing against the ball, and it's really good pressure here from Delgado. Almost gets to that. Seeing PSV reap the rewards of pushing higher up the pitch, and Columbus try to take advantage themselves.
Hunter scored the opening goal in this match. Stom arcs this ball in. It gets headed right to Colas. He juggles. Colas finally settles. Tosses it into the middle, but there's Abbott. A quick break. Delgado gets a piece. Hobson clears. Almost quarter hour to play in this one, including the stoppage time. Columbus, no shots so far here in the second half as they trail 2-0. Delgado unleashes. Delgado heads. 4-4 Hunts. 4 goals in this tournament. 4-4 tosses it in. slowed for a moment, but PSV with every answer right now defensively. Hunter over the top, flag staying down. Hunter tries to get the angle. Hunter cuts it back. Hunter gets canceled out.
Great recovery there from Zach Lloyd to track that in behind. It seemed that Hunter had gained position at that point, and this game opens up. Have to always worry about that threat in behind. Once again, you see it.
This time it's Donato heading it back.
Columbus is pushing numbers forward a little bit. We haven't seen a ton of 4-4 in advanced positions. He just had a good service opportunity on that last one. Need to continue to commit those wing backs, get them involved a little bit more in the attack. But Tom Benz on the other side for PSV has been in really good positions.
Justice does well to win his team a free kick here. Rushak and Justice hover. And it's Justice. No, it's Rushak curling this ball in. Moot punches with the left paw.
Front foot. One, stop it here. Stop it here, one.
PSV look to transition. They have men forward. Colas curls it around. 4-4 recovers though.
Yeah, this is really clever from Columbus. This is designed to drop PSV's line back. Every time they step forward, creates another yard for you to play in. That creates numbers, confusion around Moot. Has to punch that one out, but well-designed set piece. The second ball doesn't quite fall to them, and PSV tried to get out in transition, and it's well defended from 4-4 to come back and cover that one.
Two changes. Reese Prestis and Jorge Salmeron come in. Justice and Arizmendi are out.
Yeah, higher. Good idea.
Delgado was the target of that long ball as it's over his head.
Reese, match up. Yuri, Reese, match up. Jack, a little higher. Prince, you're good, yeah.
Just about 10 minutes left. Crew continue to trail. They gave up the opener in the 8th minute, gave up one more in the 25th, and had a chance before halftime on a penalty that was missed. And we sit at 2-0 here in the U16 Championship bracket quarterfinal. Michael Watring, Kalen Carr, and our MLS team with you here in Bradenton, Florida for the 2025 Generation Adidas Cup.
Find moments to interchange with Prince. Yeah. Second ball, Das. Front foot. Front foot. Good. Now we call.
Samaral. Delgado holds this ball up, waits for options, stumbles, and gives it away.
Okay. Zach, Gianmarco, use some of our solutions. Doesn't need to go long every time. Okay? Reese, find the pockets in between the lines facing forward. Jack, stay narrow. Stay narrow, like before.
4-4. Has an edge. 4-4 throws it across. Delgado would have been the closest target. Cannot slow it down. Prestis a second bite at it. This ball is thrown in. And the flag is up for offside. It looked like it was last touched by PSV.
Yeah, well done. Face the ball.
Columbus have had to push 4-4 higher. It just hadn't seen enough of him in these spots, and you can see what he can do, just using his body really well to skirt around the outside and just looking for that cutback. Didn't find the runner in the end, but
Be aware.
Down 2 goals, 10 minutes left. Have to commit numbers forward and push top players in more advanced positions.
Hunter. A goal and an assist in this one, draws the foul. And it's a booking here as well for Gianmarco Donato.
Let's go. Gianmarco. Gianmarco, you're good.
Yeah, and as Columbus push numbers forward, that's going to leave center backs a little bit more isolated, more duels. See Gianmarco just coming in, gets the ball first, but a bit of the afters there where Hunter gets the worst of it.
And now the two sides will go to their respective benches here with Hunter down. What can Columbus do right now, trailing by these 2 goals, to try to get one back here in the next few minutes?
Well, we've seen a little bit of 4-4 going higher, interchanging positions a little bit with Donjaji. We've made substitutions to bring in some extra numbers, but I think that's a part of it is they still have some time. So how do you strike that balance with playing direct, being down some goals, and then also continuing to play through the midfield? It's a difficult balance to strike, but I think patience is be what I preach. You have to push the tempo a little bit, but you also don't want to run away and just play long, because that's going to be predictable for PSV, and you have to keep them a little bit on their toes in this match, and then, of course, always worry about the third coming in transition, but that's a risk they have to take in knockout stages to try to get their way to the quarterfinal. But one changes everything, and all you need is one. Of course, they say it's a cliche, 2 goals lead, the most dangerous in soccer, and I'm sure that's what Columbus will be preaching these last 10 minutes.
Hunter back up. And he's slowly walking over towards the sideline here. What an impact that he has made today. The opening goal in the 8th minute, and the cross that set up Colas in the 25th minute. The 2 goals for PSV have all hit the foot of Hunter at one point or another. Six of the 8 quarterfinalists in the U16 championship bracket are from MLS, but it's the Dutch side, PSV Eindhoven, that are looking to make it 5 wins in 5 games in this tournament, and roughly 6 minutes away from doing that.
Yeah, we spoke to the manager, Jasper Watkins, and said because of the size of this tournament, the international profile, they wanted to commit to it. That's why they brought Imaga, that's why they've brought Tom Benz, they've brought their top players, and right now, looking in good position.
Here's Benz, Dutch youth national team player, tosses it in. Colas lays it back for Benz. Donjaji. Columbus asking for the advantage, and they won't get it.
Yes, Chris, come on, let's go. Come on, guys, let's go. Empty the tank. Go, Gianmarco. Ball, and play.
Imaga holds this ball up, it can't maintain possession.
Work closer with Das. Off of each other. I'll work off each other. Higher. Back higher. Yeah, there you go. You got a 2v1. Go on. Play enjoy. Play enjoy.
Lloyd.
Enjoy. Zach, you have that on your left. Don't need to put it back on your right. Yuri, Jorge, can we get through the 2 lines? Keller, come on.
And with Hunter out now, you see Imaga now sliding into that number 9 position to try to bring some hold-up play in. Until the heat becoming a factor late on in this match, and PSV looking to try to see this one out.
Zach.
Advance.
Go, Zach, join. Hey,
here's 4-4. 4-4. Gallops. 4-4 gets the edge. 4-4 tosses it through. Donjaji gets pushed away by Moot.
Well done, boys. Well done.
That's really good from Columbus, and you can feel the energy shifting towards them, of course pushing the match, but 4-4. Just haven't seen enough of him in these one-on-one opportunities. You see the step over, the shiftiness going against the Dutch international. Beats him to the end line, and it's a lovely cutback to Dangjaji, who tries to open the hips, doesn't quite get the right contact, but that's exactly the pattern they want between those two players to interchange, and really good moment there from Prince 4-4, being able to get to the end line.
Two changes for PSV. David Zotti and Sam Vandekamp both come in. Hunter is out, as well as Sam. A foul, and it's just outside of the 18, and if the Crew are to get back in this one, here's a delightful chance. Just away from the chalk here for Columbus Crew. Yuri Rushak hooks this ball around, and that is a brilliant finish. It thunders the threads off of the free kick, and Columbus Crew are back in this with a few minutes left.
So clever here from the outside of the box, and he catches the goalkeeper cheating, thinking all the numbers are on the far post, and it's a moment of brilliance there, and an audacious idea there from Rushak. And how about the technique to get that up and down into that top corner on the near side from a difficult angle. And Columbus now with a lifeline in these dying minutes.
First goal of the tournament for Yuri Rushak. And it's a one-goal game, and now Columbus will make appeals for an extended stoppage time window.
Come on, boys, one foot. Home, and we play. Home.
Columbus swarm. They take over. 4-4 has space. Prince 4-4. 4 goals in this tournament. Gets to the touchline. 3 defenders around. Still has it on his feet. 4-4. Tosses it in. Was, I think, hopeful for a corner. Didn't get it. Through the middle this ball goes, splitting defenders. It comes back out. A tumble in the box, no foul, no penalty. That's out for a corner.
Yeah, you can feel the life now within this Columbus side, and look for that big switch over to 4-4. Shows his quality, technical ability, but numbers all pushing forward here. Big opportunity here in extra time.
6 minutes of stoppage time for the Crew.
A lot of time.
Yuri Rushak boomerangs this ball in. 4-4, the lone man near midfield, gathers. Zotti intervenes. And it's a foul on the sub.
Yeah. 6 minutes. Hey, let's play.
Columbus missed a penalty kick right at the end of the first half. That looms very large with each passing second now after Rushak's goal.
Yes, Zach Lloyd. Gianmarco, rest defense.
4-4, unable to slow it down as it rolls out.
Yes. Gianmarco, 6 minutes is an eternity. Yuri, 6 minutes is an eternity. Let's go. Stay calm. Win the ball. Let's play. Win the ball. Let's play. Win the ball. Let's play.
And there's a foul. Colas goes down. His goal in the 25th minute stands to be the game winner.
And this is the missed penalty just before halftime for Maranch, who just gets underneath it, and easy to hang your head after that. But credit to Columbus for pushing the game, coming out of halftime with a renewed energy, stuck together and been solid, shored some things up defensively, and then found their moment, their breakthrough through an excellent strike from Ruschek from the set piece. What a fantastic idea, clever one at that. All those numbers on the back post. Expect that one to come crashing in, and the technique to be able to execute it. 6 minutes. I've heard Farahani, the manager for Columbus, say that's an eternity. He wants his team to continue to play, to continue to keep possession, and not panic. Have to push the tempo, of course. Commit some numbers forward, but feel they still have a way back in this match.
Danjaji still has plenty of energy. This ball hovers in the sky. 4-4 heads it.
Yeah, on the other side, PSV have brought Imaga back to the center back position. That's where he's played with the national team, so trying to see this one out.
Here's Danjaji! He tucks it off of the outside of the netting. Inches away from tying it.
Yeah, let's go.
And Columbus find their moment here. It's a good ball forward. The first one drops, and then an excellent little interior ball into that space. It comes out wide, and right there, Danjaji just tries to pick out that near post to go past Mooten. Lovely little release ball from Maranch to put it on that left foot. Just tries to strike through it. Seeing that near post, maybe an inch. It's difficult to squeeze in, but what an opportunity there from Columbus.
Lloyd brings it down. Quality first touch. Summerall. 4-4. Tight ropes. Gets a throw. Just a couple more minutes to go in this one as this rolls in. Imaga lifts away. Benz clears. This ball skips through the middle. It's Delgado. Now a long distance shot. Sizzles wide left.
And it's the same man with Ruschek, who balls dropping. Second balls become so important in these situations, and drops in a perfect spot there to Ruschek. We saw the technique from the dead ball situation. This time strikes through it, unlucky. Anything on frame there likely goes in, but Columbus have been pushing. I think they might still have one more opportunity in them.
4-4, tries to slow it down, unable to do so. He had an edge. The winner of this game gets the winner of Galaxy and Montreal that are in penalties right now.
Yeah. We stay here, guys. Let's go. Hey, still a lot of time left, Joe Marco. Let's go. Apollo, let's go.
We're into the 66th minute. Benz is going to pick up a yellow card for time wasting. It's a foul on the tug of the jersey.
Yeah, I don't mind the yellow card. I think that's actually pretty intelligent. He seemed next trying to implement the rules to get the passage of play going, but players still need to understand what's needed in a match, and Tom Benz showing the experience to take his time with the throw, and even if it costs him caution.
This ball falls. Apia arcs it over the top. Would have put things away for the tournament's leading goal scorer. But instead, it's probably one final chance here for Columbus Crew. It has to happen fast.
Let's go, Zach. Come on, play. Zach. Hey. Reese, stay between lines. Good. Find the next free player. Good.
4-4. Holds it up, 4-4 through two defenders, draws the foul, and this likely the last chance of the day.
Yeah, it's clever there from 4-4, understanding pressure's coming on his back just to get the touch around him and set up these numbers here. Just curious whether Columbus would send everyone forward. Looks like now, yeah, the goalkeeper may end up going a bit, but yeah, gonna have to crash everything and keep an eye on the second balls. So important.
Yeah, that's good enough.
Yuri Rushak scored a goal late in the second half. Now he bends this ball around the back post. It's headed to the ground, and it trickles in. Columbus Crew have tied it on the very last kick of the match. From 2-0 down with less than 5 to play to all level at 2 to force penalties.
Columbus have stayed patient, but they found their breakthrough at the exact right moment, and once again it comes off the service from Rushak. It's a perfectly weighted ball to the back post, and how about this for crashing in just at the right moment? Oh my goodness, what a fantastic finish to get on the end of it from an acute angle. And it's Bonos who's going to be the one to tally it. Can barely believe it. Now Columbus have all the momentum, positive energy coursing through them.
How about Jackson Bonos on the back post, and what an impact it is from Yuri Rushak. It's a beautiful ball around, and Bonos, the late arriving run. We had a good angle on it, Kaylin, and for a moment there, it looked like that ball was going to go out without anybody ever touching it. But it's a delightful ball in the end, at the death, tying it. This was 2-0 until the 58th minute, and all of a sudden, Columbus, throughout the adversity, missing a penalty before halftime, have tied it up to force pens here in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, but the mental component of this is massive, because Columbus have had to chase, they've had to push. We talked about the importance of set pieces, tournament play, and they have made the most of it. And both times you have to give massive credit to Yuri Rushak for his ability to pick out that top corner himself and then to play in the perfect ball in there to Jackson Bonos, who just didn't give up. He just continues his run. It's a bit of a lost cause, as you mentioned. You thought it might go out, but look at him. He just continues to go from no angle, and he just puts it back across. It goes off the goalkeeper moot and in the back of the net, and from there you can see just absolute pandemonium, the joy within this team, and even now that carries forward into both managers speaking to their team. PSV, you can see the heads have dropped. Frustration, having controlled this match up 2 goals, and Columbus having to fight their way back in. So we'll have to see, especially in this first kick in the beginning of the penalties, how that mental component plays in. But Columbus right now, absolute dream goal here for them at the death.
Well, this is what PSV had done to its opponents in the last 3 matches. They gave up the opening goal in 3 straight before coming back to win 3 straight. And a team that has not gone to penalties is preparing to play against a team that has 2 penalties. And from the field to our right-hand side, it is LA Galaxy taking out Montreal in penalties 4-2. And they await the winner of this match.
It's just brilliant. Brilliant scenes all across the many pitches here at GA Cup, and you turn your head and our pitch, all of Columbus just dogpiling in the corner with a last-second goal, and you look to the right, the Galaxy are all on top of each other, lifting up their goalkeeper over their head. I mean, fantastic scenes, and whoever advances from this one, see a great matchup with the Galaxy, who got to call yesterday in this tournament. A lot of talent on that side, and see who emerges after pens.
So now it comes down to the keepers. Eskil Moots for PSV Eindhoven and Keller Abbott for Columbus Crew. Crew have been to penalties twice. They lost 4-2 against Orlando City, and they beat Ulsan 5-3 when they made all 5 of their pens.
I always just feel like the first one sets the tone here, and Columbus have the mental energy from winning, from scoring at that last moment. I thought they were out. Now it feels like you're playing a little bit with house money, and some of the pressure falls off your shoulders, and that release from celebrating that goal can carry over to the beginning of the penalties, where some of that despair from PSV having conceded, the way they did, the timing of it, have to let that go and put that behind them.
PSV Eindhoven trying to catch their breaths here. And it will be Columbus Crew that will have the first say in this. And they're going to turn the ball over to Prince 4-4, a man that has scored 4 times in this tournament. 4-4 has not attempted a penalty in either of the first 2 penalty kick shootouts.
Yeah, but he was so important as far as bringing them back in this game. Him pushing into more advanced positions really tilted this game and drew the foul that ended up becoming the one that leads to that moment, and big moment for him as their leading scorer to step up first.
4-4, the U15 U.S. Youth National steps up, powers, and tucks it away, and Columbus Crew fire first.
Really good here, run up, it's confident, just comes across, closes the hips at the last second, sends Moot the wrong direction, and starts Columbus off with the advantage.
How about Sam Vandekamp? Came on in the 57th minute, and he's the man that draws the initial assignment as the PK taker. Keller Abbott stands inside his pipes. Vandekamp swings the leg, and he rolls it wide left.
Yeah, Vandekamp steps up and just tries to pick out that near post and just misses by inches, and it's a continuation of the way this match ended, with the momentum swinging in Columbus's direction, and even more so now, stepping up once again with the advantage.
Reese Prestis steps to the spot. His older brother Owen plays in Next Pro. Reese fires this ball, it's saved. Moots guesses right and parries it away.
It's an unorthodox run up with that hop just to try to throw Moots off, but he's already committed to that side and reads it the whole way. Good technique to stay behind it, but sometimes that little hop can slow your momentum, allow you to get the same purchase. Put the power to get it behind him, and credit to Moot, PSV. Massive save there. Now their leading goal scorer, Apia, steps up, a chance to level.
In February, this is the first game he did not score in regulation. Apia connects and finishes to level it through 2 rounds.
And I half thought Apia might step up first, but you can see just how calm he is. Mentioned it, seen the ball hit the back of the net 5 times already in this tournament, showed his quality, hasn't had maybe the same impact that we saw in prior matches, but steps up in a big moment here to level it.
So 1-1 through 2 rounds. And it leads to Yuri Rushak stepping up. A goal to make it 2-1 in the 58th minute, and then just a brilliant service on the final kick to set up the equalizing goal. Rushak rifles. It's another save. and he stifles a second in a row.
Yeah, and you feel for Ruščák here, who's just had a fantastic performance to bring Columbus back in this one, and he just tries to open the hips there, and it's well read there from Moot. Seen a few times him just reading the hips of the Columbus Crew players, and he's got his opportunity. He has not hesitated, got both hands strong behind it.
Ezekiel Amanga steps up. The 14-year-old that has been playing up consistently in his time. Abbott has dove to his left both times. Amaga laces, and he finishes that one cleanly.
Ezekiel Amaga has been fantastic all day. Has really allowed PSV to get the advantage, winning that first ball forward, finding Hunter, and then once again on the second one, and this time shows his class, his composure, stepping up, putting it in the top corner.
So it's Apollo Marinch. He missed a penalty right before the end of the first half. A chance for redemption here for a man that has appeared so far in 3 matches with Columbus Crew too, including 1 U.S. Open Cup game. Marinch lashes this ball and he finishes. It is redemption and a sigh of relief for Marinch.
Yeah, massive credit to Marinch, having missed a penalty, hitting it over the top just before halftime. Shows the mental strength more than anything here. To step back up, to say, hey, I want to be a part of this, take the responsibility and put it in the back of the net.
PSV Eindhoven have a chance here in round 4 to take the edge again. And they turn to one of their defenders, Taya Vos. It'll be a left-footed attempt. Can Abbott make a save? Vos, left-footed, shot on, and that one just does beat Abbott, who went to the right for the first time.
Yeah, the big center back steps up and just picks his corner, sticks with it. You can see the emotion there. PSV have had to deal with going to penalties when they didn't want to be here, and now put themselves in a good position. Donjadji stepping up here, 5th taker.
Jamil Donjadji was a rising 11 selection prior to this GA Cup. Tries to keep Columbus's chance in a semifinal berth alive. Jamil Donjadji drives this ball. It's another stop. Moot fends it off, and PSV Eindhoven survive. And PSV Eindhoven is on to the semifinal. They watch a 2-0 edge evaporate, but win in pens.
I said before the game that this might be the best match we've seen so far in the tournament, and I think haven't seen every single one. Important disclaimer, but this one sure lived up to the billing. Both teams, I thought, gave a really great account of themselves. PSV were the protagonist to begin with. Ezekiel Amaga was excellent, winning the balls, a big presence, playing the ball forward. Hunter took advantage, and then Columbus fought back bravely through the play of Ruščák, and then in penalties, Skill Moot is the hero in this one.
Moot makes 3 saves in penalties in this matchup, including the final one in round 5 against Jamil Donjadji. And he is our Adidas man of the match in this one, and what a performance it was. 3 saves after he gave up the first, saved 3 of the next 4. And PSV Eindhoven will face against LA Galaxy in the semifinal. Galaxy with a thrilling 4-2 penalty kick win against Montreal. after a 0-0 draw in that one, and it'll be a fun matchup come Saturday. PSV Eindhoven remains unbeaten in this tournament.
Yeah, and it sets up another international affair between PSV and Galaxy, and I think these are two of the better teams we've seen. I would have loved to also see Montreal or Columbus Crew. I think both have given a really good account of themselves throughout the tournament, but more appetizing matchups, and we got another one coming up here with we got Real Salt Lake taking on Charlotte FC coming up in just a few minutes.
Our quadruple header is off to a sweltering start. PSV Eindhoven lead 2-0 until the final minutes. Columbus Crew tie it on the last kick of the game. And then in penalties, PSV win it 3-2. As this wraps up our first quarterfinal matchup. We'll have Charlotte and Real Salt Lake coming up for you in about a half hour. For my partner, Kaylin Carr, I'm Michael Watching. We'll talk to you again shortly here at the MLS Generation Adidas Cup. This copyrighted broadcast of the 2025 Generation Adidas Cup may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer and Player Development, LLC.